Hey everybody, today is Mob Movie Monday and I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of reviewing one particular movie, I'm going to review the 10 best performances in a number of mob movies. You're going to love it. Hey everyone, welcome to another sit down with Michael Franzese, and today is one of my favorite days. It's Mob Movie Monday again. One of my favorite because of the comments I get back. The interaction is great. We all love mob movies, I think, everybody watching this channel. So it's really an enjoyable day. We're going to continue this, on just about every Monday that we can. And today I'm going to do something a little bit differently though. Rather than rate or talk about one particular movie, I'm going to talk about what I believe to be the best performances in a number of different mob movies. You're going to be familiar with all of them. There's no secrets here. Maybe one or two surprises, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And remember, I rate these things a little bit differently now. I look for authenticity. I look for mannerisms. I look for the look, the dialogue, the clothing. All this stuff matters to me because, hey, that was my life for 25 years. And then obviously for many years before that, I watched my father. So, I think I'm pretty right on. And if I can't be considered an expert in this regard, well, then shame on me. So we're going to do that. We're going to start from the bottom 10 and go right up to number 1. And then I'm going to rate each actor on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. I don't know if we're going to have any ones, but, watch and we'll see. And of course, I appreciate your comments. Let me know if you disagree with me, if you thought I missed one, because there's a lot of mob movies out there. I picked my particular, preferences on these, but we're going to have a lot of fun. I got a copy of my book up here, Blood Covenant. It pertains to one of the movies, I believe. And before I go any further, let me make this announcement. Very excited. I just received 5 months worth of work from the writer on the TV series that's being done with Kennedy Marshall. That's the production company. Look them up. They're aces, one of the best in the business. Very excited to be in business with them. And so far, what I'm reading so far is absolutely tremendous. This writer has done a great job, has captured everything, authenticity. It's going to be a great series when it finally happens. Remember, this is a crazy business. Hopefully we're going to see something next year. We never know, especially with COVID, but it is in the works. And what I'm seeing so far is great. And it's based upon the book Blood Covenant. And of course, my adding even more to that. So let's go. We're going to start out with my 10th favorite actor, and that is the one and only Robert De Niro. Now, some of you are saying, Michael, the 10th, he starred in so many movies. Yes, and he was terrific, but this is a great group. This is an elite group with elite performances. He was terrific in Casino, no doubt about it. Lefty Rosenthal, he played it great. He was terrific in Goodfellas, Jimmy Conway in the movie. I knew Jimmy Burke very well, liked him a lot. Told you the story about me and him in the penitentiary and what he did for me back then. He played it great, no doubt about it. I think his best role, even though it was the shortest one in all of this, was Al Capone in The Untouchables. He was terrific in that. Really, really brilliant. So De Niro, you got to give him kudos. He is number 10, and on a scale of 1 to 5, I rate him a 4. That's right, he's a 4. A good 4, but he's a 4. Let's move on. This is going to surprise you a little bit, but I'm going to go way, way, way back. Some of you won't even know who he is. Some of the people my age, my generation, even though it's a little bit even before me, you're going to know him. And it's Edward G. Robinson. Always played a gangster. In the movie Little Caesar, he played, I think it was Rico Bendello, his name was. A small-time hood, but he played a terrific role. And you got to watch the movie. I think you can get it on YouTube. But they use old expressions like you're a mug and you dirty rat and stuff like that. Kind of maybe what gangsters used to talk about way back when, because, I think he was very authentic, but he was great in that role. I enjoyed watching him, and I think you'll like it. He is number 9, and I rate Edward G. Robinson a 3. I give him a 3 out of 5, only because I guess it's not my era, so something sounds kind of corny, but so I give him a strong 3. Next, number 8, Al Pacino. Al Pacino, that's right, in the movie Godfathers 1 and 2 when he played Michael Corleone. And he was brilliant. It was kind of his early roles, but he played it brilliantly. And I really enjoyed him in that. And that's what made him a star, let's face it. He was terrific in those movies. The reason, too, I'm showing the book is because a lot of people have compared me to Michael Corleone. And in my life, my dad and so on and so forth. And, he got into the life because of his father. And I got into the life because of my father. And by the way, nepotism is huge in that life, in my former life. Many, many, many fathers brought their sons, their nephews, their cousins into the life. It's a form of security. So when people say, oh, Michael, you got involved in the life because of your father. Absolutely. And so did Ali Boy Persico, and so did a lot of the Castellanos, and so did the Colombo boys, and I can go on and on and on and on, because that's what it's all about. You bring your family in because your family, it's a security deal. So nepotism is big. And I like to say, the character Michael Corleone, I wasn't based upon him. I was reality, he was fiction, so maybe they copied us a little bit. Probably not, but I'm just throwing that out. Al Pacino, Godfather 1 and 2, and I give him a 5 on that. He was brilliant, especially for his first role. So on a scale of 1 to 5, he gets a maximum 5. Next, another one that I'm going to throw way back that you're probably not aware of, but I know you all know who he is. He's terrific. Jimmy Cagney. And in the movie White Heat, have you ever seen that film? Brilliant film. Basically, he plays Rico Jarrett, and he's a small-time hood, but he is a gangster, and he's got this affection for his mom, not a weird affection. He just loves his mother. Everything is built around his mother. 2 great scenes in that movie. Number 1, when he's in prison, and he finds out from somebody that was on the outside that his mom was dead. He goes crazy. It's an amazing scene. You got to look at that. And then, of course, the last scene, which is famous, okay, when he breaks out of prison and he's on top of this big oil tank and the oil tank blows up and he stands up and he goes, top of the world, Ma, top of the world. And then the tank blows up. It was a very, very famous scene. Brilliant. I give Cagney a 5 on a scale of 1 to 5 on this. He was brilliant in that movie. Throwback again, you can get on YouTube, watch it. It's in black and white, but you'll enjoy it. Number 6, Jack Nicholson in the movie Departed. He was terrific. He played Frank Costello. Look, Nicholson plays roles like nobody else. You get scared of him one minute. He's hilarious the next. You never know what he's going to do. There's a scene in there, remember, when he cuts somebody's hand off and he's holding the hand, and Leonardo DiCaprio is looking at him, ready to probably vomit at the point. But he was terrific in that movie. And, I give him, again, on a scale of 1 to 5, I rate Jack Nicholson a 5. He blew me away in that picture. He was terrific. Number 5, Denzel Washington. That's right. 2 movies that he was terrific in. 1, American Gangster, played Frank Lucas. And number 2, Training Day. He was terrific. He was a cop in that movie. He wasn't really a gangster, but he was terrific in that movie. Both movies. I think he got the Academy Award for Training Day. I'm pretty sure he did. I love anything that Denzel does. He's one of the most brilliant actors around there. I think I mentioned this once before. It's not a mob movie, but if you want to see a brilliant performance, look at Denzel in the movie Fences. It was out a couple of years ago, but he was just brilliant. He should have gotten the Academy Award that year. I think he was robbed. He was brilliant in that movie, brilliant in American Gangster, and brilliant in Training Day. And again, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give him a 5. He was brilliant. Number 4, Whitey Bulger, okay? In the movie, Whitey Bulger wasn't Whitey Bulger, it was Johnny Depp in the movie Black Mass. I thought he did a great job in that movie. It's funny. I saw that movie a couple of years ago, and I came out of there thinking, what a dark movie. I mean, there was nothing that was, there was no saving grace for the character in that movie. I thought it was so dark. And, coming from me, who lived in that life for 20 plus years, 25 years to be exact, to look at a movie and say, a mob movie, and say, wow, that is so dark. That was my impression of it. But I thought Johnny Depp did a brilliant job. He played the part brilliantly. I give him a 3. If you want to include the makeup in there, the makeup artist should get a 5 on that. Did a brilliant thing. But it was a good movie. I think it was depicted well. I think Johnny Depp, who always does a pretty good job, I think he gets a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. Number 3, A guy I love in a performance I've loved, I've said this before, Anthony Quinn in the HBO movie Gotti. He played Neil Delacroce. He was brilliant. The lines that he delivered when he's in the room with the boss, with Carlo Gambino, and he's basically fighting for Gotti's life, and he talks to Paul Castellano. Just the performance was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Second to none. And the second performance is when he's in the bar and he's talking to Gotti, and he tells him, again, Armand Asante, he tells him, I saved your life today. But if I would have got the order to whack you, I would have came here with these 2 zips and you'd have been gone. And the way he delivered that line, it was chilling. It was just brilliant. Anthony Quinn, amazing actor. On a scale to 1 to 5, he gets a 5 for me on this too. You might be saying, hey, Mike, you're pretty generous, but you know what? These are brilliant actors in brilliant roles doing brilliant, brilliant, brilliant performances. Number 2, one of my all-time favorites, and you know who this is, and that's Armand Asante in the movie Gotti, the HBO movie Gotti. Again, he was brilliant. I think Armand Asante is a very underrated actor. He does a brilliant job all the time, and he played Gotti better than Gotti can play himself. I mean, every scene he just lit up. The beginning, when he talks about when he's looking in the mirror in prison, and he says, what, so many years from now, they're going to miss John Gotti. It was just, every line that he delivered in that movie was amazing. On a scale to 1 to 5, Armand gets a 5 for me. And now we go to our number 1 most brilliant performance in any movie, without a doubt. And that goes to Marlon Brando in The Godfather. I got a 3-way tie here. Joe Pesci in both Casino and Goodfellas, and Al Pacino again in Donnie Brasco, who played Lefty Ruggieri. Let me go one by one. Marlon Brando in The Godfather as Don Corleone. People, I was around that life for 25 years. I met all of the major players during that time, all of the bosses. Nobody carried themselves like Marlon Brando did in that movie. He set a standard that I don't think any guy on the street could match, and I mean that. And look, and I speak highly of many. I love my father. My father was charismatic, held himself great. He was one of the main guys, no doubt about it. Then you had Persico, Colombo, Castellano, Fat Tony, the Chin. I met them all, but none of them could match that fictional standard that Marlon Brando reached as Don Corleone. He was just brilliant. He set a tone in that life. I told you, after that movie, people started to on the street, started to act differently. They kind of raised their standard themselves. He was brilliant in that movie. Obviously, he gets a 5 out of 5. Joe Pesci, brilliant in anything that he does, whether it be a comedy, a mob guy, it doesn't matter. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant as Nicky Santoro in Casino. He played that role tremendously. We went over this movie, some of the scenes, every scene that he's in, he just lights it up. That scene in the desert, okay, when he was with Robert De Niro and he's bawling him out, for De Niro saying things about him. The authenticity of the dialogue, the way he delivered it, just amazing. He is amazing. Obviously, he gets a 5 out of 5. In Goodfellas, okay, as Tommy DeVito, brilliant again. The scene, do I amuse you? Again, it was an ad-lib scene that he made up. Brilliant. He lights up the screen wherever he is at any time, any movie that he's in, you got to love. And of course, The Irishman, I don't put that performance with Goodfellas or Casino. It was a different kind of role for him, a departure, because he played a calm guy, but he was brilliant. He really was. So he is tied for number 1 with Brando. And then I got to go to Pacino again as far as his role in Donnie Brasco, because I knew Lefty. He was terrific in that movie. He played it to a T. Again, some of the lines that he delivered was when he was in the car, I got sent for. The things that he said, and, hey, Donnie, you want to kill me with that draft? Close the window. Just all of those lines, the way he delivered them, it was just so authentic. It was just brilliant. And, look, I got to say, this is an honorable mention. I didn't put this one in, but because I can go with Pacino on just about every movie. But he was so good in Scarface. I mean, come on, he created that role. That was a fictional character, and he created that role, and he was so brilliant. So he's a number 1 guy. He gets a 5 out of 5 in this also. They were great. One person I haven't mentioned, and I probably should have because he deserves a mention in this, haven't reviewed the movie, but we will at some point, and that's Warren Beatty in the movie Bugsy. Warren Beatty was terrific in that role. He played a great Bugsy Siegel, a little bit crazy, but he was terrific. And he belongs in here someplace, but we're going to review that movie, so I'm going to hold off on that for now. I have some special insight of that because a very higher up in the Beverly Hills Police Department gave me some insight. You know, that murder was never solved, not up until today, but he gave me some insight into some inside information on that, so I'm going to share that with you when it comes time to review that movie. But Warren Beatty was brilliant. He deserves honorable mention for sure, even though he's not a mob actor, so to speak, but he was brilliant in Bugsy, and we'll get to that. So that's it for today. 3 tied for first place: Brando, Pesci, and Pacino. Different movies. They were terrific, all of them. And I hope you enjoy this. My book, yes, a lot of people have been asking me, about it. This is the book that the TV series is going to be based upon, yes. You can get it online at Amazon. You want to get it from me, michaelfranzese.com, store.michaelfranzese.com. I will autograph it for you. I know we've been getting a lot of requests around Christmas time. People are giving it as gifts. Book's been out a long time, so I think you'll enjoy it. And again, TV series based upon this. So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoy it. Hope everybody's doing well. It's December, it's Christmas time. Get into the spirit. I know we're going through another lockdown here in California, but we got to deal with this stuff. But don't let that dampen the holiday spirit. How do I always leave you? Be safe, be healthy, God bless. See you next time.